Frames and flops, we back, baby. Yeah, we hit a milestone with today's episode, y'all. I can't believe it. We've hit 10 whole episodes. Think about that. Y'all now have over 200 minutes, 3 hours worth of my horrible audio to consume at your leisure. I just want to start this episode by giving the utmost appreciation to all y'all who listen, encourage, and support me, for real. My wife, Michael and Byron from COTI, the Blue Man Group, Arcade, them Somerville boys, y'all know who y'all are, J Wells, the rando that clicked the link on Reddit, the person on YouTube that clicked on my video by accident, or, thanks to autoplay. However, y'all get the picture. Thank y'all. Just thank y'all so much for keeping me charged up and encouraged to do this. And here's to y'all. Have a toast. Light up something. Do what you do. I appreciate y'all. And, to whoever finds this 2 years from now and listens, I appreciate you too. With that out the way, let's get into the good stuff. So this week, I'm not giving a game review, but instead, I'm just sharing some mediocre thoughts of mine that you probably already heard from a content creator with thousands of views or in your Discord or your GroupMe or Twitter, whatever. But this is my show, and I won't talk about it because I care about it. So, if you have not heard, Sony, the people that make PlayStation, acquired Bungie. This is the studio that made Halo and Destiny and other games in the past. They spent $3.6 billion with a B. Now, I know I'm hard to understand sometimes now, but let me say that again. $3.6 billion. That's a lot of money to have them under their wing. So this news was announced early Monday morning while I was still eating my breakfast. So, how about that? Now, this is right after the announcement of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. So here we are with another week of fat man and little boy news bombs in the gaming world, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, from here on out, I'm just going to give my unprotected thoughts on this deal. Yes, I'm going bald weenie on the podcast, aka Raw. Also, for the first time in Frames and Flops history, I'm answering questions. So from here on out, pretend like you're working if you at work. Quit being killed in the game if you playing the game. And make sure you don't burn dinner. Listen to me ramble on. So, here we are. No more script. I got some bullet points. Like I said, I'm keeping this one real raw for y'all. Sony has bought Bungie. Now, people are reacting in positive or skeptical ways. So here's some details. Bungie, according to the press release now, Bungie still is going to publish and have full creative freedom as they were an independent studio after this acquisition. And with that being said, they're pretty much solidifying the fact that they are going to continue to be multi-platform. They're not putting any content exclusive to Sony or PlayStation. So all my folks that play on Xbox, Destiny, you'll still have everything that a PlayStation player has. My PC players on Steam, same applies to y'all. So you shouldn't put any thought into anything being exclusive like it used to be when Bungie was with Activision. That's not the money move. Don't limit yourself when you're already multi-platform. Just go ahead and hit everybody over the head for those microtransactions and maps or whatever. So don't worry about that. And come to find out, there's some more press releases and statements from interviews been released since Monday. So apparently, PlayStation wants to have 10 live service games by 2026. That's a lot of live service games. And the whole key to live service is usually it's a free to play base game, and then they'll bust you over the head with expansions and microtransactions. So I look at this as PlayStation, they really don't have an answer to Game Pass just yet. There's some rumors about this Spartacus thing that I reported on. I reported on. I ain't report shit, but you know, this Spartacus is supposed to be a equivalent to Game Pass, but still, it's Sony can't compete in that space just yet, and I don't think that's their goal. But to stay on top of the gaming food chain as they are now, because yeah, Microsoft has spent a lot of money to buy all these studios, but when it comes to actual revenue from gaming and profits, Sony is still top dog. So to continue that trend, I believe they're seeing that just making everything exclusive to that PlayStation platform isn't the best model, especially in this age where accessibility is the key. So if they want 10 live service games by 2026, they're going to be on every platform, and they're going to bust people over the head with microtransactions. And now that you have Bungie under your fold, that their specialty and their money maker now, because they're clearly a $1 billion company, is microtransactions. That's how they make that money. They have their expansions and a crazy microtransaction structure. So that it's a no-brainer. So I hope people realize that the game is changing a little bit. Exclusivity is only going to be for niche games or content, or some legacy content like God of War. And even though that just got on PC, for the most part, it's only going to be for PlayStation and PC if they do a PC port. But here's another thing. Because of the success of God of War and Horizon and Days Gone and something else that's been ported over to PC, they're seeing, whoa, now we can get even more money by putting our exclusive content on another platform. Oh, sign me up. If I'm Jim Ryan or whoever, the CEO, president, yeah, let me get a bigger, $1 million bonus. So of course, this is the play. So also, this is in favor for both companies. So now Bungie can probably leverage some of Sony's server support, because we all know, us who play Destiny religiously, that there are some server issues, but that's typical with any live service game that's dependent on some servers. So now you have the infrastructure that you didn't have with Sony to help bolster your server capacity or just network support to keep the game in a good spot and handle high loads. And also, now you got Sony that can leverage Bungie now to say, hey, well, we want to make these types of games, because Sony, their specialty is third-person, narrative-driven story games. They don't really have a first-person shooter game that's exclusive to the platform. Call of Duty is the PlayStation shooter. It used to be, Killzone had a little run, and they had Resistance for a little while, but they really don't have that. And now they have a studio that is their bread and butter as a first-person shooter. Every game that they put out has revolutionized. Lord, I can't talk. Revolutionized. Hey, we going raw now. Remember, has revolutionized the first-person shooter genre. Halo, Destiny 2, and now they're working on another one. So, yeah, this is a way to help get your catalog up. with this acquisition. And of course, again, like I said, it'll be on every platform. Every person is going to want it. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. It's just what it is. What else I got to talk about real quick? Oh, so really, I just spent a few minutes rambling on about, the gaming aspect and technical aspect, but the true nature of this deal is movies and TV, because I think a lot of times we forget that Sony isn't just PlayStation. They got a studio for movies and TV, Sony Pictures. So this is a hell of a IP to have ownership over, to leverage that, because here's another caveat: Sony Pictures and Netflix strike the deal maybe a year or two ago to have so much content on that service. So another thing that you may have noticed is a lot of the video game content has been booming on Netflix. The Witcher live action series, Castlevania. They just had another one that came out that's booming. Maybe one or two others that I'm missing, but Destiny, the lore behind this game, this franchise, look, so much content that they can make so much money off of, between either live action or animated shows and movies. Look, this is really the play. Because think about it, because if Sony is promising Bungie to maintain their creative freedom to work as though they're independent, the real game is, hey, let us use our influence in the media space, because that's part of y'all ambition, is to become a multimedia company, not just a gaming company. Because just last year they announced that they're building a new studio. They've hired some former executives from Viacom. They moved some of their leads into this multimedia division, so they're building that up and they're hiring like crazy. So Bungie has pretty big ambitions to become a huge entity in entertainment in general, not just gaming. So now you got Sony Pictures behind you to help see your vision come true. So it's the real play is gonna be some dope movies and shows we get in the future. And that's pretty much the thick of it. I'm not gonna ramble on too much longer, because like I said, y'all probably have already heard what I've already said. I just said it in a more unintelligent, unclear way, but it's what we do. We going raw, baby. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh, let me not get a strike. You know the song I was about to sing. So anywho, questions. Some of my homies in the Blue Man, they sent me some questions that I'm gonna to ask and answer, and I probably already answered some of those in the bullets, but this is cool. Question 1. Greetings and salutations, Day One fan, first time writing in. Sony has made it clear that they are looking to create other forms of media set within the Destiny universe. What would you like to see out of it? Would an animated show tickle your fancy? A romance novel detailing the relationship between Osiris and Saint 14? Or would you rather they go the traditional route and make a big blockbuster movie? Love the show and keep on keeping on. My boy Zach. I thank you, Zach, for giving me this question. For me, my first instinct is that I want something animated, because the world of Destiny, for those that don't play or don't know, is all about people that got imbued with powers. They call them the power of light powers. And you can conjure up flaming swords or flaming hammers, or shoot out a damn a ball of negative energy, or you know, wield a gun that can kill you in one shot and disintegrate you. So it's all about space fantasy, space travel. You're going to different planets and killing aliens and using these crazy abilities and putting on crazy armor and using crazy guns that do crazy things. And I think that's best translated in some type of animated medium. Not to say that it can't be done live action, because I mean, hell, look at the Marvel universe. They got all these comic book movies, and they're $1 billion every time for the most part. But uh, I think the best experience would come from something animated. And as far as live action, I think they have a lot to work with to have something live action, but it would be more of a TV show, not a blockbuster movie. I think they could go into the Clovis Bray time, the golden age, before things got too crazy with the light powers. I think that would be a good TV show, because you can have some drama with him, trying to understand the Vex and make the exos and make the weapons and all that good stuff, and you would have a little bit of the space travel and fantastical stuff happening that could be tame enough to be somewhat realistic with live action. So I think that time period or different time periods would be good for live action. I don't see a movie, but I think some series of TV shows, animated and live action, would suit this universe very, very well. Next question: do you foresee Bungie farming work out to other third-party studios like they did with Vicarious Visions and High Moon in the past? What do you think this acquisition means for the overall health of Destiny and for Bungie as a whole? My boy Stealth. I don't think they're gonna farm out the work like they did with Vicarious Visions and High Moon, simply because they're making so much money and they're hiring like crazy. They finally have the vision for what they want the game and the studio to be. So I think they're finally getting to a point where their checkbook is balancing in a way that they're profitable and that they can hire on a team to be dedicated. Because when you get the contract work, you lose a lot of consistency. And I know that just from my own day job and reading interviews from game developers, how when you bring in people to help on a project and then they go, the consistency of the work is not the same. And hell, we've seen that from the Menagerie, and when PvP was really rocking, and the Pinnacle weapons, to Shadow Keep and Beyond Light, how it's been a kind of a decline in the sense from the amount and type of quality of content that we've been getting. And now that they have this extended break and they've been building up these teams, now we got this big build up to Witch Queen and this new leadership. You see how it's kind of changing as far as what they're promising, because we still haven't seen it yet. But I don't think they'll be farming out with this acquisition. I think for the most part they'll get some technical help, like I said earlier, as far as the servers and I guess engine. Just I think it'll be more on the technical side, because Sony they are some of the top dogs when it comes to the tech and engines and all that good stuff. So I don't think they're going to do too much farming out of work. It's just going to be more of leveraging assets, technical assets, And just for the overall health, this acquisition, I think it's a good thing. I think Bungie's getting what they want and Sony's getting what they want. So it's more of a kind of a partnership. But Sony's Debo, but they're nice Debo. If you know who Debo is, you should know who Debo is. But I think Sony's getting what they want because they'll be able to just to rake in the cash and you get this multimedia stuff popping, and then Bungie, like I said, they'll have some support for some of the other technical issues they have, and they can really dig in and dedicate the resources to really building something that us players really want. Last question. If Sony goes the live action route, do you want a feature film or limited series? And if Sony goes animation, what style would you want them to adapt, i.e. anime, another show style, etc.? It's my boy Lex. I kind of answered this at the first question, but as far as the animation style, now that's a good question to ask. I think it's going to depend on the story they're telling. I think if it's an animation that's diving more into, let's say, the early days of the Guardians and, you know, the Iron Lords, and like you said, Zach was talking about Saint and Osiris, I think that style should be more of a Western traditional style, a little bit more rigid, kind of dark. As far as just the filtering, kind of how these shows be doing now, they make it kind of just dark, not dark as in evil, but you know what I mean. But if it's more on the, you know, Guardians are out killing shit, going to planets, doing raids, I think a more anime style of animation, you know, that the Japanese Eastern type of animation style will work best because it should be fast paced. It should be full of action, lots of colors, lots of moving parts on the screen, and that anime style will be perfect for that. That's just my opinion. But hey, I'm looking forward to seeing all of it. So it's gonna be dope. So that's question and answer. First time on Frames and Flops, episode 10. Man, we doing big things out here. So let's run into some news real quick. I don't have much, but as of this recording, Sony just had a state of play. This is February 2nd. I'm recording this, and it was showcasing Gran Turismo 7. And let me tell y'all, they have drag racing, bruh. Drag racing. Look, I forget which episode it was, whether it was 4 or 3 or 2, I don't know. But I had an episode on Forza Horizon, and I mentioned in that episode how I'm mad that these new racing games don't have a drag racing mode because I love drag racing. And look at this. And I said that this game probably would not have drag racing, and them boys slapped me in the face and proved me wrong. Drag racing. And it's all about tuning your car and using your throttle the right way and shifting the right way. Bruh, I'm going to spend so much time doing these drag racing that I can imagine the amount of beers I'm going to be drinking. Drag racing. I'm drinking and driving in the game. That's right. Oh, man. But that's all I got, man. Gran Turismo 7, March 3rd or 4th, or whatever it is. Yeah, the 4th, March 4th. Man, I'm so excited for that. And I'm going to have a link for the state of play in the description so y'all can check that out. Love to see it. Love to see it. So, the memory of the week. And this is, man, the good Lord be working in mysterious ways, because I started typing up my memory right before I started recording, honestly, because I really didn't have something that came to mind this week. And I started talking about, typing up the first time I played a video game with my dad. And right when I started recording, he called me. That's something there. Now I may be blowing it out of proportion, but he called me just to chit chat with me. And that's not something that we usually do. You know, we go spells without talking to each other, but it's not like it's how can I say, it's not, and we have a bad relationship, but it's usually, you know, we're calling to convey something. I'm telling him about a new movie to watch on HBO, or I'm coming home, or something of that nature. But as he's getting older and I'm getting older, it's funny that yeah, that's my dog now. Hey man, my dad is as my dog, but it, it's becoming to where it's like, yeah, that's my best buddy. So we call and cuss and talk shit to each other, and we talked on the phone for about 40 minutes, just shooting the breeze. And he's like, I just want to call him my main man. So anywho, I'm all in my feels. But the memory of the week is the first time that I played a game with my dad. And now it was the one and only time, but it meant a lot to me. And this is way back, PlayStation 1 days, TV with the fat booty. Had to switch to channel 3. um, he was about to go out in the yard, and I was in the house playing Need for Speed. And he just said, "Man, give me this thing and see what you're doing, boy." Because my dad just turned 64 in December. He's an old country man, and dirt poor growing up. Video games is the last thing that he ever had on his mind, except to buy something for his boys. But he decided to play because I guess it's cars. He liked working on cars. And he saw me driving the car on the screen, and he grabbed the thing, and had to been no more than 2 minutes, and he put it down and went outside. But that just, it left a big impression on me. And that's the relationship I got with my dad, man. That's my dog. But I'd like to know. Tell me in the comments. Just hit me up. What's some memories do y'all have of playing video games with your parent or guardian, someone older in your life? And how did that impact you? Because here I am in my mid-30s now, and I still don't have kids, but it's something me and my wife talk about. And if and when that happens, I'm wondering what the technology is going to be by the time our child is of age to want to play with me. And will I still be into it by then, or will I have all my facilities to even play? I don't know, but I think about stuff like that. But I want to be able to make some cool tech gaming memories with my child when the time comes. So yeah, leave it at that. Frames and Flops, episode 10. We coming. Man, look, after next week, it's about to be on. It's a lot of heat coming out. A lot of heat coming out. So be prepared. The content is coming. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Till the next time, we out.
Thank you all for tuning in to Frames and Flops. Bye bye.